Hello everyone, I am Suruchi, a life freedom coach and an art-based therapist. Today I have with me the very dynamic Shikha Mittal. Shikha is the founder and director of Be.Artsy, a leading social enterprise working on varied social causes ranging from sexual harassment at workplaces to domestic violence and much more. She has been featured in Forbes India as a trailblazer for her commendable work on sexual harassment at workplaces. She has also been awarded as the Alumni Achievers Award in the social category from IIM Bangalore. Please welcome me in joining Shikha to talk more about her journey. Hi Shikha.
Hi Suruchi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good.
So how is the lockdown treating you?
Very well. Fortunate enough to be home, unlike many people who are not.
Wonderful. So nice to hear you're doing well. Shikha, let's start out about your journey. Tell us where you started out from and where you are now.
So Suruchi, I started just like any other Indian girl next door would start schooling and then college. I went to Delhi University, did history honors, regular college from Khalsa College, and post that I just started working. I started working actually before college, and my journey started as a volunteering girl, and then reached up to corporate, and I worked from about 16 years of my age to 26 attached to the corporate world in different roles and different capacities. So that's how I started. And at 26, I moved on to be an entrepreneur. But yeah, in those from 16 to 26, when I was working, I had to shift almost 14 jobs. So that's a story.
Yeah. And what are you working on currently? What are you doing at BRC?
So, Suruchi, what we do at Be.Artsy is that we design programs which are more to do with impact, helping people to first of all decode very complex topics. It could be prevention of sexual harassment, which is one of my leading concerns to deal with at the workplace or even beyond, and domestic violence is largely for the community. So working on that as a national consultant with a UN agency to build capacity also,
Wonderful.
where about 120 enterprises, we are building capacity for them to how to deal with domestic violence that's happening amongst their employees, which are blue collar. So that they could also help them build resilience and come back to work with more productivity. So that is happening. Plus financial literacy is the third key area that I have expertise in personally, and as a company, we do a lot of financial literacy across the country in about 7-8 languages for prevention of sexual harassment or domestic violence. We also work in about 9 languages across India. So our focus has been on making awareness to be more business responsibility rather than just charity. So that's what we've been working on.
Oh, wonderful. It must be so difficult to work with people who are going through such trauma, isn't it? How,
Of course,
yeah.
of course.
So, a certain kind of empathy and a certain kind of endurance is required to understand them. How do you think and why do you think that you're working on such a topic, like domestic violence, for example?
Uh, I'll be honest. I picked up prevention of sexual harassment because I was a victim. And when I started the company, I started with that topic only because I was the victim, and the story I was trying to focus on earlier when I was telling you that I had to shift 14 job 14 jobs is the reason why, because of because of sexual harassment that happened to me at the workplace, and gave me an eye opener on the company culture that I'd experienced, and gave me a lot of push to think that if I or anybody else would not take a step forward and do something about it, we will always keep thinking, oh ऐसा होता है
Right.
इसलिए हमें तो काम पे वापस नहीं जाना है और मुझे काम नहीं करना है. तो ये दिक्कतों से भागते रहना तो बहुत आसान है, और दिक्कत को फेस करना और उसके बारे में कुछ करना that is something that we really really need to do, ourselves.
Right.
And that's how your question I'm answering, that domestic violence, I also became a victim of domestic violence. And that's how I realized that uh, you know it doesn't stop at sexual harassment at the workplace. It comes home. And for me, it was later, but for most of the women, it's first at home and then extends to workplace. For me, it was the other way around. It came first from the workplace as a young girl, and then moved to my home, which was, I was married for some time, and those 4 years were horrifying when it comes to domestic violence. So that's how I picked up both the topics. And in both the topics, one of the very stark pillar that that is there is financial independence for any human being, not just women, any human being, to be able to explore their complete potential can only come when they are financially literate, they are financially free, they are financially independent. But the way it goes is, first everybody should be financially literate, then they should be financially independent, and then aim to be financially free. And that's why these three key topics are personally my personal life agenda also to work on.
Wonderful, Shikha. I cannot tell you how courageous you are and so inspiring, because I know it's very easy to talk on a topic, but it takes a lot of courage to come out and share that I have been through it. And
Suruchi, it takes courage, but here, sorry to cut you in between, but I'll be honest, it's not easy for anybody to come out. It took me many, many years to start speaking up my very dark experiences of life and acknowledging that they are dark, and not being oblivious to what's happening to me, and not feeling, oh, ye to sabke saath hota hai, so it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay to be a victim. It's not okay for anybody else to let you to be the victim, and it's not okay to be quiet about it. No, it's not okay.
through your work, you are supporting so many men and women going through different kind of traumas, be it domestic violence, be it sexual harassment, or any kind of issue they are facing. Tell me the mental journey that you went through in coming out and speaking about it.
Initially, I was going through a lot of stress. It added a lot of weight on my body. It added a lot of weight in my brain, in my emotions. They were getting layered up. I was getting very inconfident about my own self. I was getting very vulnerable inside me. And the worst part was that I was entrepreneur at a very young age, according to the many people in my house. But 26 to journey from 26 to 36, I have seen, or maybe gone through so many seasons that it took me a while to first of all acknowledge that I am not doing well because of my own sexual harassment experiences earlier, or maybe domestic violence in my own life. But when I saw others who I was, doing training for, and I was going pan India and talking to people, and conducting multiple type of trainings on whether it was bias training or whether it was how to prevent sexual harassment, how to prohibit it or redress it for that matter, I realized that the pain is much deeper. And, also it is well said by a lot of people that हमें अपना दर्द हमेशा ज़्यादा लगता है. But whenever we go out and see more pain around us, I think it gives a lot of courage to us, thinking that, I'm not the only victim. There are more people who are more vulnerable than you. Then why have this whole, becoming a crying person all the time? Because your tears can actually be directed in the right way, or on the right path. And I can use my anger more productively. I can use my setback or experiences and challenges to be more productive and help more people to understand it, to acknowledge it, and to deal with it. So I think my courage came, or your question that how did you deal with it, came from all those men and women who actually came to me in all these 84 sessions that I've done so far.
Mm.
Lot of women who couldn't understand Hindi, and I always have trainers, translators with me whenever I go to Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Telangana, Hyderabad or Kerala,
Mm.
because the south side I can't communicate in those languages. So I
Mm.
always have a translator. They all, after sessions, so many, actually, I'll be honest, almost all sessions, some or the other men, I'm saying men and women both came to me. Women actually came to me and hugged me and cried. So many women cried, and men came to me, asked, which is very recent experience which I'm sharing with you, saying they got like one diary, small diaries from their pockets, saying, I want you to write one message for my daughter, and I want from today, I will pray that my daughter is like you. So
Wow.
you need to autograph for my daughter and give one message to her so that she can be like you. And that day, I think I had so many tears in my eyes when I was sitting alone post, and even right now, I'm feeling very emotional about it. That uh, when men in our life, which is our fathers and brothers, understand that we are a team. We are not men and women. We are team. Whether in a family as parents and siblings, we are a team, or when we move out from that setting to form our own families with our husbands, or husbands coming forward with their wives to have kids and to have another family. Till the time we all do not understand the power of team, we will never be able to have a healthy environment or society. So this is I hope I gave you some
Oh, yes,
input.
yes. So I think you set out to inspire people and help them heal. But in your journey, those people helped you heal.
Oh, there are too many.
Yeah.
uh, uh, During 1.5 months you have been with me of I Am Bangalore journey. You have been, like, you were there for me as a person who could see through me. Likewise, a lot of people came to me in last, especially in last 6 years, in last 5 years, I would say, who have helped me raise the bar, and who've helped me to find my own self. I wouldn't name them because it's unfair on the others, but
Definitely.
few I would name because they are known to my family and to everybody. My childhood friend Ruchi, and my very close friend Amisha, my mother. New friends came in from last 5 years of my journey. At the workplace, there are, I mean, I can count these 4 people who have been my mentors, guide, friends, and truly well-wishers, who have pulled me out of the pit that I was in for my own emotional journey. And they told me how, how they have observed that I cope up very well in stress or in very difficult situation. I cope up very well. And that's when I realized that whenever there is a huge stress point coming to my life, I was feeling so unhappy that I was snapping back out of it, unknowingly or knowingly, because my brain knows one thing for sure, that what is the goal of my life? This is something that I've set for myself, is that I want to be happy at the end of every situation that I'm in. So my objective is very clear, Suruchi.
So in this journey of 10 years, you said many people have come along the way and helped you when you were lost and helped you rise above challenges. Do you think that one key quality that you have is that you're open to asking for help, which is
Oh,
one of the barriers people have? Nobody wants to come out and ask for help. People pretend that everything is okay.
so I must tell you, I come from a upper middle class family, and uh, food has not been a problem in my house ever. Food has never been a problem. I'm giving you such a small example, but it's one of the most powerful example for for a lower middle class, upper middle class, rich, anybody. So when we reach a stage where we all will reach some stages in life which are very unusual, and at that point of time, if we spot that this is the time I need help. So I didn't had food in my house one day about 5 years back. I was alone. I was living with my husband in a rented apartment alone. And because of the whole journey, uh, somehow I didn't had stuff to fill in my kitchen and cook. And I couldn't go back to my parents because they would be shattered thinking, what is happening to my daughter's life? So they would be shattered, and in this sharam and in this whole societal pressure, I couldn't call home that I don't have food or basic dals in my home, and my husband is not really giving me money for it. And I was going through so much of financial crisis in 2015. That was the only year in my business when 10 months I didn't had any income. All my savings were out. I was completely bankrupt again in 2015. That time I seeked out, I just mentioned in a very different way to my friend Amisha. And I seeked help saying, I don't know what to do, Amisha. She just didn't hear any further on phone. She simply came to my house that very moment. She had some coupons of buying food from the grocery departmental stores that some offices offer. She told me to go and buy all that I need. Of course, I will never forget it. I will never forget such people who came to rescue me at such difficult times. But I also learned the power of asking for help and understanding that if I was asking for help, मैं छोटी नहीं हो गई, and if she was helping me, वो छोटी या बड़ी नहीं हो गई. Because the friendship that you have is so important and so meaningful that all these things are absolutely situational and circumstantial. किसी की जिंदगी में कभी बुरे दिन आ सकते हैं और किसी और की जिंदगी में कभी और दिन बुरे आ सकते हैं. So we never should ever feel egoistic about asking for help. We should never feel hesitant, or we should never feel ashamed to ask for help, because help is the most beautiful emotion that you can experience and also seek. So that is something I've experienced.
I completely agree, and this is a barrier we've been trying to break all along, that people hesitate to ask for help. It could be going through anything as small or anything big, but why do we not ask for help? Why do we seek it as a sign of weakness? Even mental health, for that matter, people go through so many challenges emotionally, depression, or setbacks in life, but something stops us of going out there. Suppose we're not comfortable asking our friends, there are many counselors, there are therapists, there are free helplines, there are free email services who can offer you help, but only when you look for it, right? Only when you go out there and want to seek help can you find it. What do you think?
और इंडिया में तो एक बहुत पॉपुलर सेइंग है ना सुरुचि, ढूंढने से भगवान भी मिल जाता है.
Exactly.
So अगर हम ढूंढने ही नहीं निकलेंगे तो ना भगवान मिलेगा और ना मदद मिलेगी. So जब हम ढूंढने निकलेंगे, all the times then that we will actually go out and seek. And I'm not saying stand on the road and seek. Seeking comes from within. It comes from your emotions. It comes from your very deep core inside of you. Whenever you will seek something very sincerely, with utmost clarity and emotion, which is pure, I can guarantee you that the universe, that we all hear, that universe conspires to come and really support you. I am experiencing that every single day, week, month, and year in my life.
That's wonderful to know, and that's the message I want to put across to everybody, that Shikha has gone through so much sexual harassment, domestic violence. It took her some time to come out. It took a lot of courage from her, but she did do it. And don't you think we all owe it to ourselves to live a better life. Don't you think we all deserve a better life? So please go out there and seek help from whoever you think is the responsible person around you. Please go out there and seek help. Shikha, this journey from that little girl who set out of college to what you are now, you must have grown mentally a lot.
Yeah, I think emotionally, mentally, my resilience power, or to understand and decode my own emotions, it has taken me a lot of effort to just look within me.
Hmm.
But because I have put in a lot of conscious effort to
Hmm.
really go through that journey of knowing myself and being with myself and finding this friendship with Shikha, has really been a very elated journey. I have felt very exuberant about my own findings about myself. And that's when I realized that the most beautiful friendship that we can create with anybody on earth is first your own self.
What a beautiful thought out there. And how did you go about that journey?
So, of course, I did formal training on emotional intelligence. Besides, also started reading very different kind of books.
Okay.
So, I read from books like The Prophet to a book which I always refer. How did I how to how to fail? I will give you the title. I'm just forgetting the title, but it's very fun book.
Okay.
How to fail, how I failed or nailed, something like that. But
Okay.
it's like a Bible. I don't focus on the title, but
Okay.
every time I sleep, sometimes I'll just read one book, one page of that book, and I'll sleep. It'll give me some message before sleeping. Then I read a book very often, which is called How to Be Lucky. It's by Max Gunther. And I read very different kind of books.
Oh,
And
wow.
I think the choice of books that has changed over time,
Mm-hmm.
and emotional intelligence training, and I volunteer a lot now.
Okay.
So I volunteer with youth a lot. I have been conducting youth webinars in of late in the lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
But in all these 10 years, I have spent at least 2 months of my every year being very active with youth and talking to them about their problems, emotional health, mental health, and giving them some practical key points that they may want to, apply and work towards finding their peace. So I feel it's just like PhD. Not, I would not say PhD, because in PhD many people do not really go out and do things, but somebody like somebody who's studying and somebody who's also going and teaching whatever little they have studied. It's just like that. I always
Applying the
do.
learnings that you're reading.
Yes. So that teaches me more than I would have picked up from my training or books or anything. When I go and talk to more and more people, I get new questions, and when I address those questions,
Mm-hmm.
I feel so many layers in my own brain, they just get cleared off.
Such a beautiful journey. Seems like you're drawing energy from your own self within. We rely on people around us, and we should, because they are our close family and friends. But I think the most important person we need to connect is with our own self. And that's where we draw our mental
Absolutely.
courage and our resilience from. Any last message you would like to leave for everyone?
Uh, there's one message only from my side to all of you who's listening to Suruchi's this beautiful conversation, is that uh, the whole life can be absolutely beautiful if you own your decisions, and before making any decision, have your results ready. So to give you a practical example,
Mm.
if you know that your exam that you're taking today,
Mm.
let's say you're taking mathematics exam today, if
Mm.
you will set that you are not going to score anywhere below 95 out of 100,
Mm.
and then you prepare yourself to go and take your exam,
Mm.
trust me, you will score anything above 95, because you already have taken decision
Mm.
before even the results would come out. And that is applicable for everything in your life, whatever you may do. And you can try this out. It will really work, I promise you.
Great. So I'm going to definitely try this little secret that Shikha has laid out. What she's saying is that be the creator of your own destiny. And once you decide the kind of life you want, you will instill the power within yourself and you can do it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Shikha. It was wonderful chatting with you. I am
Thank
sure
you, love.
everyone who sees this video has something to take back from them. All the best on your journey, and I hope you impact as many lives as possible.
Thank you so much, and thank you for coming in and talking to me today.
My pleasure.